What's up guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at this fresh new pair of Adidas Leistung 16 2.0s. We're going to be talking about the pros, cons, price, and the construction that come along with this shoe, but now let's talk about how they performed. So in my opinion, this shoe is great for weightlifting specifically and weightlifters. This shoe has a 1-inch elevated heel, it's TPU, it's really solid, really stable, and that helps with the sit back and the snatch and the clean and jerk. Also, I'm a big fan of the BOA Lacing System. Some people don't like the BOA lacing, but me personally, I think it provides an overall foot support, and I'm a big fan of that. In my opinion, there are two athletes that won't really benefit with the Adidas Leistung. And number one is the beginner. So if you've never worn a weightlifting shoe and you're used to wearing, let's say, a running shoe or a Converse that has a flatter outsole, I think making the jump to a 1-inch elevated heel can be a little drastic. And honestly, it's kind of counterintuitive to jump to an elevated heel to that stature that might alter your squat patterning. The second athlete, and I fall into this category, is the powerlifter who squats more low bar. So I squat with a little bit wider stance. I have a low bar position on my back. So my hip crease is already very, very tight and very angled, and jacking up my heel an inch only makes that a little bit more pertinent. It actually makes it a little bit more uncomfortable to squat. So in my opinion, if you're just using these shoes for squats and you squat low bar, these might not be the best picks for you. I have 4 pros that come along with the Adidas Leistung. Number one is it's great for weightlifting. And if you're used to a 1-inch heel and you like a 1-inch heel, this is one of the best models on the market to get that. Number two, I like the BOA Lacing System. Some people aren't a fan of it. I personally love it for getting that nice midfoot stability and full shoe tightness. It does come a little loose in longer workouts, which can technically be a con too, but if you like the BOA Lacing System or you're kind of new to it, it does provide ample tightness on the midfoot, and I'm a big fan of it. The third pro of this shoe is the durability. So the outer construction is the power weave. It has some thicker leather layer here on the medial side and the heel back here itself is a solid TPU with a thicker rubber outsole. Never shows any sign of early lipping. So in terms of overall shoe durability, that's another pro that comes along with the Adidas Leistung. Two cons that come along with the Adidas Leistung 16 2.0 is number one, they're not a shoe for everybody. So if you're a weightlifter looking for that solid 1-inch heel, this is a good option for you. But again, if you're a beginner who's never used a weightlifting shoe, or you're a powerlifter who squats more low bar and just need a good squat shoe, this might not be the best fit for you. The second con is the BOA Lacing System. Personally, I like it, but it definitely took some getting used to. Others have expressed they don't like that they have to retighten the shoes in longer workouts, or they don't like that it's hard to get both shoes kind of the equal level of tightness. I don't really find that to be the case, but some definitely find that as a concern, and it's worth thinking about when considering the Adidas Leistung. All right, let's talk price for the Adidas Leistung 16 2.0s. So these have been on the market for a little bit now, so there's often discounts on this shoe. You can expect to pay around like $140 to $200 for this model. Now, it's not the biggest price in terms of weightlifting shoes, but it's definitely something to consider. If you're not used to a BOA Lacing System or the 1-inch heel, I would definitely be mindful of what you're going to invest in the shoe. In terms of durability, it will last you, but again, it's not a shoe for everybody, so before you go investing in this model, make sure that it's going to fit your needs. So now let's break down the construction of the Adidas Leistung 16 2.0. Let's make our way from the heel to the toe. So the heel back here is a solid TPU layer. As you can see, we have a nice thick rubber outsole that extends from the heel all the way up through the midfoot to the forefoot. And the heel height stands at 38 millimeters. So coming off of the heel, we have a nice plastic little cup back here that you can kind of see comes up off of the midsole itself, and that kind of goes up into this heel area. On the heel itself, we have a decent amount of padding back here near the Achilles. There's not a lot of friction. There's a decent amount of padding even on the malleolus side, so the medial and lateral side of the shoe. That all is enclosed with a kind of more of a heel clip back here, so I'm condensing this and pressing it in, and there's not a lot of action going on. It's pretty stable. Making our way to the midfoot, we have this power weave construction that goes all the way on the outer and up here on the tongue. The medial side has this kind of leather-esque material, same as the heel back here. Then on the midfoot itself, we have 6 eyelets going up, and in terms of how you get the shoe fully tight, we have the BOA Lacing System. That's a system here. It's a little bit more unique in shoes. You don't see a lot of weightlifting shoes with this system. I'll show you how to really tighten up and use this in the fit, sizing and fit section. Making our way to the toe, we have that same outer construction, power weave. We have a toe lip that kind of comes up that has a little bit of a layer here. That's pretty cool for any kind of toe dragging or something that could cause early wear and tear of the model. We have a lip that comes up here. I'm not completely sold on the lipping of the toe up here. I think that could have early breakdown if you're consistently dragging the toe, but I didn't find it to have any issues, but it is something to kind of keep in mind. Flipping over the shoe and looking at the outsole itself, we have kind of this star base up here on the forefoot. Then we have a more rigid layer back here with bumps and holes and a kind of a hollowed out area in the midfoot and towards the heel. In terms of performance and stability, I didn't find any issue with it at all, and I thought the shoe grip platform is pretty dang well. In terms of overall construction, mainly the most notable feature of this shoe is the BOA Lacing System. This BOA Lacing System does extend a little bit on the inside. As you can see, there's this extra layer here, and that kind of makes up for this shoe's strap or lack of straps. All in all, those are my main construction callouts for the Adidas Leistung 16 2.0. All right, let's talk sizing and fit of this model. So I am a size 10 shoe. I'm pretty true to size, and I get 10s in all of our weightlifting shoe models. So for the Adidas shoe, let's put it on and see how it fits. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the shoestrings fully tight first, and then I'll work my way to the BOA Lacing System just so you can really see how to tighten it up. So we're gonna pull these laces fully tight. Note we have 6 eyelets going up. I'm only gonna use 5 for this review just to give a closer look at how this shoe feels if you don't lace it all the way up. So now the BOA Lacing System, this is the area of the shoe that everybody kind of wonders about. So to tighten this, you're gonna push in on the BOA Lacing System and you're gonna crank. And you're gonna pull, 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 pull till that shoe feels very tight, or you're just gonna adjust it to your level of tightness. So as you can see, we have a nice tight fit now. And obviously you could put the BOA Lacing System on before or after the shoestrings. I personally just did it this way to give you an idea of what it really looks like to crank this. And to loosen it, you're just gonna pull up and then just honestly wiggle the foot out, and this kind of loosens up on its own. So push in, crank. So now how does this feel on my foot? In terms of toe box, it doesn't feel too limiting. It does feel a little bit on the more narrow side. I have a more narrow foot. I'm splaying my toes here, and I don't feel really any kind of limitation. The power weave provides a nice level of support, so I don't feel like I'm like hanging over the sides, even though it's a little bit more tight. Making my toe wiggle up here, we're about like a ½ inch off the shoe. And personally, I like that. It helps with any toe jamming. And I usually shoot for like a ½ inch usually in the toe box on weightlifting shoes and cross trainers just because that's my personal preference. All right, so in regards to what you should do for your sizing, if you're a pretty true to size model now in your normal shoe size or you've worn Adidas, I would say go with that normal size that you've worn before. If you are pushing the envelope and you're normal true to size, I would say go a half size up for this model. It does have a little bit more of a narrow fit, and I don't have too much room up here in the toe, so I think that might be a safe bet if you're really pushing that envelope for your normal true to size. And that wraps up my review of the Adidas Leistung 16 2.0. This is a hardcore weightlifting shoe, and if you need it for weightlifting, I think it's a good pick for you, but it's definitely not a shoe for everybody. If you want to read my full thoughts and what other athletes have said about this model, make sure to check out the review in the description below or Google BarBend and Adidas Leistung 16 2.0.